Hey guys, and welcome to the next episode. Here I have lizard quarantine setup. I'm going to go through a few supplies you're going to need to properly set up your lizard or collared lizard to adjust well and make sure that nothing's going on. Again, you want paper towels, a basking rock, caver hide, water dish, a primary and secondary light, UVB hood light, and for collared lizards, a 75-gallon enclosure. Then you're going to want a heating source as well as a lid for your enclosure. Here's one of the finished setups for a quarantine. Again, you want a 75-gallon enclosure because research has shown that that is the minimum size you need for proper reduced stress and natural behaviors. Here I'm going to show you the UVB hood, one of the basking lights hitting a rock, and then I'm going to show you another basking area over there. You want two of these just to give ample space, allow them a large water dish where I have for this female to be able to completely soak inside and get her water source. Again, a nice basking area where UVB distance is proper. As you can see, the hood on the top. I have a ceramic heater as well. As you can see, here she is on the other basking source. Again, making choices, being able to move around, enjoy the enclosure, not feel stressed in a confined, limited space. And again, this is a good, simple way to have a quarantine set up with paper towels. And again, you can see she was very happy and has a big smile. Now moving on, again, quarantine for unknown backgrounds, you want about 30 days. If you do know the background, it's always safe to have at least 1 to 2 weeks for these guys. Again, this is important to make sure that any lizards you currently have remain healthy and safe, and don't rush it. Again, be safe because it's better to be safe than sorry. Now moving on to the transition to where they can be in a normal enclosure. Basically, you want washed play sand, comfortable hide, maintain the same basking area as well with the same lighting that we had before, same water dish. And I'm going to show you again, it's very important to use a wash play stand. I'm going to zoom in here. As you can see on the bottom, it's a washed source of play sand. This removes any of the sharp silicates out to help in case they do happen to eat some, that it passes and does not irritate anything. As I show you here, move away the paper towel and carefully, I like to do it on the bottom so no dust or sand accumulates on, but I'm going to show you here, have it in and using more for the other side. But again, moving the paper towels over, I actually leave the female in there and other lizards and gently do it. As you see, she goes right over to the sand. I use a similar slow technique that I use for the handling just to make them feel comfortable in the enclosure, because you want them to be very friendly to you so they're easy to work with. Now she actually is starting to be gravid, so I'm going to use a typical nest box setup for her cave and basking. As you guys can easily see if you ever check out my collared lizard nest box enclosure, I'm going to show you in a few steps here. Basically, set up the 3 pavers, the good distance you need for whatever tile, 12 by 12, 18 by 18. Put the sand inside the enclosure. Carefully add the sand to the other side. She actually followed me over there because she thinks she's getting fed or something like that. So you can see her over there basking. She is a case report we're actually doing where we actually had to treat and give her some medical treatment here, and now she's actually doing well, nice and healthy. But another important thing, large water dish that I like where they can soak their whole body in, and it's very important, keep it flush to the bottom, because you see a lot of issues where they try and actually dig underneath or get stuck around the sides. So give enough space for the collared lizard to be able to move around the edges of the water dish as well as not be able to dig underneath. This again is just safety precautions and makes everything, risk-free and more friendly to the actual enclosure and the collared lizard as well. And as you can see, again, ideally the basking spot you want over the nest box or wherever the cave is. So you can see as I was doing this, she actually wandered over under the basking light where I'm going to have the tile. So you can see again, being comfortable, that's where you want her to be. You want them to actually choose that as the main basking source. But again, you want to have 2 basking areas in a large enough enclosure to reduce stress, give them a choice. So again, putting the same one I had in there just for a second basking option helps reduce stress and really make the collared lizard more comfortable. And then now I'm going to add the tile in. You can see literally perfect dead smack in the middle. And I'm going to show you actually how this setup allows for proper basking light, but also UVB emittance, and to allow them really get the D3 supplementation in. So I'm going to show you the lid here with the UVB light, and it actually has a range of around 22 to 24 inches for perfect UVB for her. So it's actually measured out to be a great level for the female right here. You have the basking light hitting her perfectly, the secondary basking light giving warm temperatures, and the ceramic heater as well, just to be on top of the enclosure to provide heat needed. And again, the large water dish there so that she can soak in, no areas where she can get stuck going around it or dig underneath. Again, a lot of sand in here to allow her to dig, because enrichment is good for these, and if they do lay eggs, you do want to have enough sand. I did not put water in there right now because I want to keep her a little bit dry before she gets really close to having these eggs. But again, a optimal 75-gallon setup, again, reduces stress and is required for a collared lizard and up to a trio, because these can be cohab. You can see her smile, and please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. Thank you.